Whitehaven is home to one of the longest-running hospital radios in the UK. Radio Haven was established in 1955 and currently broadcasts from West Cumberland Hospital.
I don't think it gets as much sort of coverage as it should do, because you ask people about, you bring up stories about hospital radio and everybody knows about hospital radio, but nowadays you don't get a lot of people that pay too much attention to it. But I think it is interesting because it's there, because it's something that, at least from my point of view, it's something you don't have access to outside the hospital. So nobody really wants to be in hospital, but while you're there, you've got this little bit of sort of, this little unusual kind of interesting thing that nobody else has got access to. So at the very least, you don't want to be here, but you have sort of this kind of person there to sort of, well, pick you up as well as they can.
I thought I'd let it go right to the end, you see, to that final little cymbal crash. Welcome to Radio Haven. You might have realised now that that wasn't going to be the one that we were going to be playing. But I know a little. Lynyrd Skynyrd, from the album Pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. No, that's what I mean. That's what it was called. Pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. That was the name of the album, you see. My name is Phil Hazelhurst, but I go from a series of alter egos as well. There's Big Phil, there's the one and only Mighty Tree, there's El Hippo. It depends which sort of bits I'm doing. And I fell into this by invitation, although I tried it a couple of times in the 80s, basically seriously or semi sort of like continuously since the beginning of the century.
Radio Haven began life in 1955 at the Oldcastle Hospital under the name Hospital Broadcasting Services and was established to broadcast live rugby events from Whitehaven Rugby Club. In 1964, a new hospital was opened in Whitehaven. West Cumberland Hospital was opened by Her Majesty the Queen Mother, and Hospital Radio Haven then moved to the West Cumberland Hospital under the new on-air name Channel 2 Hospital Radio. The Oldcastle Hospital and West Cumberland Hospital coexisted until, due to fire regulations, the Oldcastle Hospital was closed down and all patients were moved to West Cumberland Hospital.
We don't get any regular funding whatsoever at the hospital radio. We have to go out and do everything ourselves. The members of the committee and other members within the radio tend to go out and do different things, whether it's charity nights and evenings trying to raise money. People do sponsored walks, sponsored cycles, sponsored swims, anything from standing on a street corner with a collection box up to arranging huge musical events. I mean, I know myself, with help from some of the others, we've done charity karaoke nights and race nights and things like that to try and get any money we can into the radio.
Unfortunately, the licence we've got, we can only broadcast to the hospital patients. We can't broadcast out with the hospital or in an area, a canteen area, and like that. We can't broadcast anything like that. We can only do local because it is very expensive to do otherwise.
Due to the increasing fees for radio licensing, Hospital Radio Haven can only broadcast to hospital beds and not in the hospital cafe and other communal areas. Hospital Radio Haven receives no external funding and must raise money through fundraising and sponsored events.
The best thing to say about hospital radio is it's a brilliant opportunity for both the listener and the broadcaster themselves. The listener there as somebody local, somebody who possibly has the same experiences as them, and obviously they're there specifically to try and pick them up or bring them something interesting, bring them a bit of the outside world maybe that they may have been missing for the last couple of days. And also it's a great opportunity for the broadcaster to sort of give you that opportunity to engage with other members of the community, people who you normally wouldn't try and accommodate for in your own mind. So it is a good way to sort of get into radio, but also understand how the community works as a whole.
Doing the radio, it gives you an outlet that you wouldn't normally have. You can go and you can speak to, I mean, in the hospital there's lots of different kinds of people. There's young people, there's old people, there's people who you would normally never speak to, you'd never get the opportunity. The radio gives you a chance to, broadcast to such a wide community about lots of different things. It gives you an outlet rather than just sitting there speaking to your family, doing the normal day-to-day conversations. You can have a look into things you wouldn't normally look at. You can speak to people you wouldn't normally speak to. We were lucky enough recently to speak to Frank Bruno, and it was amazing just speaking to somebody well, maybe not in the main limelight anymore, but somebody who was once one of the main figures in the public domain, a household name. It was a great opportunity, and it just gives you so much experience in something you would never usually do. We definitely need to try and get more awareness of the radio, because it's a great public service. People need to know about it. The majority of the wider community just simply don't. And I think a lot more people need to get involved, a lot more people need to know about it.
At the moment I'm the chairman of the hospital radio, and I've really enjoyed the time doing it, and I enjoy the hospital radio, but it's quite strange when you're sitting in that wee room and you press that on air button, you think, my goodness, what have I done? But once you get used to it, it's quite good. It's really enjoyable, and it's a good hour and a half relaxing yourself.